Hello and welcome. How to jumpstart your graph in a few minutes. I didn't script this video. We'll try to be very spontaneous. Um, okay, this is the repository on GitHub where I put the Jupyter notebook. You can use it in your IDE and environment you want, or Google Colab. I did it so that it works either way. Okay, so to open it, with the Colab, you just take this URL and you put in front this, and this is the notebook. I structured so that you can work on the initial code block to perform the configuration, and we really need very few things for the configuration. You need a WordLift key in the Colab because it's a key. You would put it in secrets, WordLift underscore key, all uppercase, and paste it here. If you don't have a key, just open the WordLift.io website and follow the Get Started button here. If you have any issues, just ping me on X. And then what else do we need? We need the output type. This is the type that is going to be used in the graph for the created entities. So web page is a very good default, but you can use collection page, for example, if you're talking about PLPs, product listing pages, and so forth. Then we need a sitemap URL. I got one from my website. At the moment, I tested it only with the plain sitemap URLs pointing to URLs. I didn't test it with sitemaps pointing to other sitemaps. You can try. If not, if it doesn't work, just open an issue in the repository and I'll take a look at it. So I'm going to put it here. So very briefly, because this notebook can work also with your local IDE environment, you can also create the config default py file in your local environment and put the configuration there. It's up to you, really. This case works nicely in Colab. Okay, so I'm going to run this cell. Okay, configuration is configured. We got a little warning here that we couldn't find the config default py file. I think this is fine, obviously, because we're configuring it here. For Google Colab, we installed the dependencies here. In case you're using it in your IDE, there is also a pyproject.toml file, which you can use with Poetry. I think it's nicer so that the dependencies get cached locally in a virtual environment. And then we got some imports, nothing fancy here. And here we got a couple of callbacks that you can customize according to your need. This callback is called for every URL in the sitemap, and it takes care of importing the URL along with the headline, abstract, and text into the graph. And I think it's very important here to notice that because my key is also enabled for embedding vectors, that I'm telling the system that I want embedding vectors generated using the text inside these properties, so that later on I can use it. I can do both faceted and vector search on my graph. And this is like the strategy that we use to create linked data IDs. You can leave the default, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to define this import URL function. This is a parse HTML. So after I import the entities, I can also add additional properties to those entities. In this case, I'm provided with the entity ID and the HTML of the web page. In this case, what I'm doing, because I know that the web page has anchor links with the class tag cloud link, and these are like keywords. So I'm using Beautiful Soup to parse these tags, and then I'm going to patch the entity with the keywords property, each one representing one of these tags. So I'm enriching the graph. Here you can do everything you want. I mean, you can also run AI, do classification, grab data from elsewhere. It's a very powerful function. In this case, I'm fine with that. And this is the main function. You can look into it. Basically, as you can see, it's not very large, very few lines. Basically, what I'm doing here, I'm going to check the URLs that I did not yet import into the graph, so I can do it incremental. And I will import them, and then I will enrich them. I will just grab very quickly another key and put it here in the secrets. Lovely. And then I'm going to run this code. Then what I will see here happening now is that the Colab will start. It shows me a nice progress bar. And this is importing 93 web pages as entities inside the graph. And after this completes, it will run the enrichment for each one of those. Okay, and now it's moving on to the enrichment stage, which means that we are parsing. First of all, we are checking like which entities haven't been enriched yet. So if this procedure stops, you can always resume it where it was. And then we're parsing each of these URLs, calling the parse HTML function, and adding the information inside of the graph. That's it. In the next video, I'll show you how to use this data to perform GraphQL queries, searches, and more. Bye.